Christian writers. And I'm not talking about that Left Behind series. I'm talking about people that are talking about moving towards God, living like Jesus, serving God with everything that you have. You see, you need to stop reading 50 Shades of Grey and start reading what God is saying to certain people so that you can hear God through their experience and through their words. Number 4, God speaks to us through other brothers and sisters in the faith. Amen? You see, that's the reason why you can't do this faith thing alone. It's the reason why Jesus brought 12 men together so that they would have a community and they could hear from one another. See, you've got something to say many times in the name of God. You've all had that experience where somebody has said something to you and it just pierced your heart. And they didn't know what they said, but you knew that came from somewhere else. You know, here's my idea of God's sense of humor, is that, you know, the reality is there's just some people that we just don't get along with very often. Some people that just kind of get on our nerves, right? And yet there are times when God gives a word for that person, when they're talking to you, and you know the moment that they say that came from God. And you're like, God, really? From them? You're going to say that to me from them? Are you kidding me? But God can speak to us through other people. Patrick Simon reminded me from the first service that, you know, God can also speak to us through the creation that's around us. You know, I mean, I don't know if you've been watching the sunsets since Isaac, but they've been stunning. They've been stunning, and I consider myself blessed because a lot of times when I'm working at night, I'm going home and I'm crossing the river right at sunset, and I got to do everything I can to stay on the road because it's just so awesome to see the beauty of God's colors in the sunset. Absolutely, and God can speak to us through circumstances. And here's the other thing, God can speak to us through dreams. Yes, God can speak to us through your dreams. How do you think that we got the property next door that this church had been intending to buy for more than 4 decades, but other than that, God revealed to me that the owner was getting ready to sell it in a dream. God speaks to us through our dreams. Now, does that mean that all dreams are of God? No, because I know you have some pretty funky dreams just like I do. And so not all dreams come from God, but you know if you give God the voice to speak to you in your dreams, He will. He will. Okay. Let's go into our sung response. Is that where we're at? And